nervous system will tell us everything that we need to know about a man. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are in the kitchen and we're going to be cooking and chatting it up a little bit. I've been having this very interesting contemplation about picking the right man or picking the right husband. And I'm 30 years old now, and this is definitely something that is important to me and on my radar when it comes to who is it that I want to spend the rest of my life with and have children with and build a home with and a family with, and how on this journey of being 30 years old and really wanting to settle down with someone long term and make the commitment to be with someone through thick and thin till death do us part. How do we really know if we are picking the right person, or how to, gauge who that right person is? I have had my fair share of experiences in dating people who were not for me and being with people who shouldn't have been here, who I shouldn't have given access to my body. I shouldn't have given access to my time. I should have not given my energy to. The older I get, I realize that to be able to gauge who the right person is, especially as we go out dating and starting new relationships, especially at this ripe age of 30, what things to look for. And I honestly think that it's really just one thing to really look for and to be mindful of when it comes to picking that person that we are considering sharing our life with and being on a lifetime journey with. So we have our lentils that have been over here soaking for a few hours. So I'm gonna wash them. When I was younger, I had really only 2 serious relationships. I was dating this boy in the neighborhood. He was quite popular. Everyone kind of knew him. And he was extremely cute. He was definitely like the it guy. And so we were dating from when I was about 12 years old all the way up until college. Like, that was my guy. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my relationship with this boy. We were together, and even our families knew we were together, and his mom knew, my mom knew, so it was definitely like that. And I lost my virginity to this person as well. Now, when I reflect back on being that young girl and in love and really I was so into him. Like, he was the popular guy in school. He was the cool guy. But throughout the years, it was very clear that he was not faithful to me. There was always some new girl popping up. There was always something with him. Like, there was literally always something. And I remember just feeling so anxious all the time about him, or just so much drama. There was always so much drama. By the time I got into high school and we were dating, he literally gave me an STD. So not only was he emotionally stressing me out, he also had physically harmed me, and still was with this guy. I was still dating him all the way up until college. I forgave him. I even got his name tattooed on me. I don't know what kind of delusion that was, but I was definitely Delulu. I was definitely drinking the Delulu Kool-Aid. I got his name tattooed, and a few weeks later, I literally went back for a cover-up. When I got to college, we were still dating in college. We had actually been going to two different colleges, but they were in the same town. And entertaining this idea that we would be together, or I was at least, because I think it was very clear to him that I wasn't the girl, like I wasn't the girlfriend. And I also have to admit to myself that he wasn't really treating me like a girlfriend all that time, like I was just there. And it became very clear to me that, yeah, this was not my man, because he ended up getting a girlfriend in college, and it was very clear that that was his girlfriend. Like, it was clear. They were together. The way he treated her, the way he was with her. And I think it got to that moment when I realized that he didn't choose me. My second boyfriend, got me again. Got me again. And it was so similar to my first relationship in so many ways. I mean, I essentially ended up with the same man. And for me, it was like, how did I end up with this same man again? And I almost went to the other side from being so hurt, like really not even caring anymore, not caring about love, an intimate relationship with someone. I remember me and my college roommate, we literally used to call ourselves like dogs, like, or we're gonna be like, almost like we're gonna dog men, because we were these young girls who had been hurt. Like, when I really think about it, we were so hurt and confused, and we didn't really know what to do. So it felt like the solution was to just be like, whatever. I'm not going to trust men. No men are good. All men are bad. And so really swinging to the other side where there was a strong distrust in men. And I think for me, especially coming from a background where my father wasn't there, and really trying to find faith in men, I completely was just like, you know what? No, this is how men are. This is how all men are, and I don't trust them. And so really going to the other side. From when I was so young, I had never learned the tools to really check in with my body, to check in with my mental and emotional state, to see where I am. And our body and our sensations is so fundamental to our lives. It's how we check in for safety. It's how we know if something is right for us or if it's not. And because I never gotten these tools, I had learned for so long to be disembodied. I didn't have this connection with my body. I didn't have this awareness of my mind like so many of us. I mean, it's not something that we learn in modern education, that the importance of our biology and our nervous system, and how our nervous system is not just science. It's not just something over there that that is just a piece of information. It's so important for our well-being and how we carry out our lives, and how we scan for safety, how we scan for, happiness, peace, how we live happy and peaceful lives. Our nervous system really needs to be cared for. So I realized that in my relationships from when I was a young girl, how I was picking men and how I was allowing myself to be treated, how I was treating myself, ignoring so many signs, not really knowing that my body was telling me, stop sleeping with this person, ignoring the anxiousness I felt, how on edge I felt with that person, and how unsafe. In relationships, I think the fundamental thing to actually use to gauge, is this person the person for me? After being in so many relationships where it has been very clear that no, this is not your man, boo. This is not him. This is not the person that you want to be with. Run the other way. The question is actually so simple. How does this person make me feel? The most simple things are the most profound. Just the question of really asking ourselves, how does this person actually make me feel? How do I feel in my body when I am with this person? How are the quality of my thoughts? What is my emotional state of being when I am in the company of this person? And it might not just be in our intimate relationships. It might be with our family and even with our friends. And it doesn't necessarily mean that something is wrong with that person, but sometimes it really is a gauge for us to know where we are on our journey. And sometimes we have to minimize the level of physical discomfort that we feel. There's this idea that we should be able to be okay no matter what the circumstances around us are. And while that is very, very true, and it is the aspiration to be able to really have stability in our mind, but we really have to start from where we are. When we actually learn how to check in with our body, our sensations, our mind, how we are emotionally, then we really learn an incredibly powerful tool of how to take care of ourselves and how to put ourselves in environments that are hospitable, environments that allow us to grow into the best versions of ourselves, that allow us to flourish, that allow us to have the capacity to help other people. Our nervous system will tell us everything that we need to know about a man. I only realized how disembodied I was about 5 years ago. I learned about how disembodied I was through the practice of yoga and through mindfulness trainings. That was really my start on my spiritual journey. Then I started to actually become aware of my body and also learn different responses and reactions and sensations that my body is undergoing to try to give me insight or tell me something. So I really realized that I was extremely disembodied. I was suffering so much from lack of awareness of what was actually happening in my body for so long. And when I think back to those relationships that I had when I was younger, or even in my early adult life, where I completely neglected my body and I completely, disregarded myself and what I was feeling because I didn't understand. I barely knew what I was feeling, and let alone to be able to comprehend what my body was telling me. Learning through the lens of yoga about how disembodied I was very helpful for me to be able to do something about it, because otherwise I really hadn't even recognized that. And that was only about 5 years ago. So I spent practically most of my life being completely unaware. It was normalized for me to go from anger to happiness to being moody to anxious. This was completely a normal experience. And let's say only a few months ago did something really click for me about how important understanding our nervous system is and how we feel and how we are feeling. I'm from the US, so really it's so normal. It's so normal to, if someone asks you, how are you, to just go, oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm okay. It's so subtle, but it really is a way of perpetuating how disconnected we are from how we really are. It's so automated that we really don't have to think about how we are feeling. And so it was literally life-changing to me to learn about our nervous system, that the nervous system is not just science or biology or something external to me, but understanding my nervous system is fundamental to my happiness and my well-being. It's fundamental to my relationships, is fundamental to how I care for myself. So let's talk nervous system. Our autonomic nervous system, and this is the part of our nervous system that acts without us having to really do anything, but it's always giving us information. It's constantly giving us information in how we are relating to the environment and the things around us. It's what essentially lets us know if we are in survival mode or if we are at ease and resting. So this is how we check if the man that we are picking is actually good for us. But in order for us to actually receive this information, we have to really check in with our body, and we have to know how to do that. And so our autonomic nervous system has two parts. There is parasympathetic, which is often referred to as rest and digest. And then there is sympathetic nervous system, flight, fight, or freeze. In flight, fight, or freeze, we can say that we are in survival mode. Now, the cool thing about our autonomic nervous system is that it's not necessarily that being in sympathetic nervous system or flight, fight, or freeze is bad, and that being in parasympathetic is good. It's just a matter of our body telling us where we are. And our body should do this on its own in relation to what's happening. So, for example, if for any reason that we need to be in survival mode, let's say we're crossing a street and we don't see a car and we need to automatically be able to step back, it's an automatic response, and our body needs to go into that state of being. Versus when we are lying down and resting or getting ready for bed, we should be in our parasympathetic nervous system, and we shouldn't feel like we're being chased by a tiger when it's time to go to sleep. But the reality for so many of us is that we are stuck in our sympathetic nervous system because we are chronically stressed out. That man might be stressing us out. That man might not be allowing our nervous system to rest, and we might not feel safe or stable around this person or in that relationship. Can you imagine that our body is giving us that information for free? So we don't have to overthink or worry or stress ourselves out wondering, is this man good for me? Is he not good for me? What should I do? Our body is giving us that information for free. our body is naturally shifting between sympathetic and parasympathetic, and there are specific signs that our body will give us. Not being able to sleep at night, not being able to rest when we are with him, feeling tension in our body, feeling stressed out, feeling emotionally dysregulated. Oh, I put way too much pepper there. Oopsie. Feeling emotionally dysregulated, feeling anxious. Sis, the red flags are there. The red flags are right there in our nervous system. All these things are our sympathetic nervous system being alert and giving us warnings that we are in survival mode and that we're stuck in survival mode. Sometimes it's so clear that it's a no. Like, it's so clear, and I definitely think that this has helped me so much recently with just being aware, or just really being like, is this my person? Is this my husband? Because surely I want to sleep good at night. So the real question is, does this person feel good for my nervous system? How do I feel when I'm with this person? I know for me, this is not as easy as it sounds. It really isn't, because the tendency is to ignore what is happening in my body, because it's so habituated. It's something that I've been doing for so long, so I have the tendency to almost override it. And for so many of us, and I definitely know for me, being stuck in survival mode feels normal. It feels, actually, because I'm so used to it, we have to unlearn this habit that we have acquired of being in survival mode all the time, because this is essentially what leads us to making very unskillful decisions, for hurting people, hurting ourselves. So for me, how I'm checking if he's the one, how is my nervous system when I'm with him? How do I feel in my body when I'm with him? What kind of thoughts am I having? Do I feel safe? Do I feel like a deep breath? Do I feel like I can rest here? Do I feel like I can slow down here? Do I feel calm and at ease here? And it's as simple as that. Problem solved. We spend so much time talking about red flag, thinking about red flag, asking our friends, is this a red flag, is that a red flag? And the whole time, our nervous system is like, red flag girl. This is a red flag girl. Get out, seek help, run for the hills. And I definitely think I'm still learning this again. This is not something that I have perfected. Learning how to communicate how I'm feeling, learning how to check in with myself, engage my sensations, and all of these things. And it's a practice. It's an ongoing practice, and it's not something that we master in a day. And like I said, I really just learned about sensations in my nervous system, and even the difference between an emotion, a sensation, and a feeling. The same way nourishing food feels in our body, that's the same way that picking a man or finding our person should feel in our body. I'll be hosting a 100-day online retreat where we'll be talking much more deeper about all these topics, about relationship skills, emotional regulation, nervous system care, awareness, attention training, and how to actually apply these things to our everyday lives. How can our nervous system help us pick the right man? How do we know when we are stuck in survival mode? What's happening in our brain when we feel dysregulated? What does it feel like in our mind and our body when we are happy? What is the path to happiness? How to actually get there? How to actually check if this path is working and practice together. I know for me, learning some of these things and continuing to study and learn and practice these things has really been life-changing. And while I still have a lot of habits and things that I am actively working on and looking at, it has really been life-changing for me to be able to see myself in this way, to be able to have awareness of myself in this way, to have a different level of understanding and relationship with my body and my mind, and to continue to grow in my compassion, to continue to grow into becoming the best version of myself, and how I show up in the world, and learning every single day and practicing every single day. So if this resonates with you, I would be so happy if you join me in practicing together and being on this journey of growing together for ourselves, for the people around us, and to really be able to live happy lives and full, complete, and purposeful lives. So if this resonates, the link is in my description, and you can learn more about the 100-day online Year of Yes retreat. Until next time, friend.